Hello and welcome to another episode of Minutes and Matters brought to you by 10 Leaves. I'm your host Bhumika Arora, and today we are diving into one of the most important aspects of corporate governance, general meetings. From what they are, why they matter, and how they are conducted, we will break down everything you need to know about this cornerstone of company decision making. And once again, I have Bhakti Dave joining me today, the governance expert at 10 Leaves. Welcome to the episode, Bhakti.
Hey Bhumika, thank you so much. Always great to be here.
Bhakti, we will start with the basics. When we say general meeting, what exactly do you mean by that?
Yes, Bhumika. Actually, the topic of general meeting came up because last time, we had a lot of discussions and podcast on board of directors, board meetings. So we just thought today we will speak on something else and discuss on general meeting. When we say
Mm.
general meeting, there are important portion is the shareholder. Now, shareholders are the owners of the company. They invest in the capital of the company. So that is the reason they are called as the owners. But you can term is that the shareholder, owners, or members all are the same. Now, in the complex world of today's business, it is very important that we have a shareholder and the board of directors. Board of directors are the one who looks after the management of the company, and the shareholders, they are the actual owners of the company. It is very important for both of them to be in sync for the growth of the company. Now, the next question is, how do they meet? So that is general meeting. So a general
Mm.
meeting is a gathering of company shareholder or members wherein important decisions of the companies are discussed and approved.
Okay, okay. So the term general meeting is actually quite broad from what I understand, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so Bhakti, can you like break it down? Can you break down the two main types we usually talk about?
Yes, when we say general meeting can be in the form of annual general meeting, typically termed as AGMs, and
Mm.
extraordinary general meeting, that is EGM. Those are the normal terms we use, the short forms. Now, when we say annual general meeting, it is conducted yearly on annual basis once annual general meeting is conducted. Now, annual general meeting basically is conducted to discuss more on companies' annual performances, or approving annual financial statement, or re-election of directors on annual basis, or reappointment of auditors. So those agendas are usually taken up at the annual general meeting. Now, when we say extraordinary general meeting, the term extraordinary itself suggests as an ad hoc. So
Mm.
when we say extraordinary general meeting, it's called for urgent or any special matters that cannot be waited until next annual general meeting, because AGMs are conducted on yearly basis. There may be some discussions or important or urgent matters that require shareholders' approval. Then you cannot wait for the whole year. So that is the time EGMs are conducted.
Okay.
EGMs are normally used for, ad hoc items like some company structures or merger, amalgamation, or any sort of capital restructuring.
Right, right. So from what I understand is an AGM is a well-planned meeting, whereas an extraordinary general meeting, an EGM, is something which is conducted in urgency.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, interesting. And so, in essence, the fundamental purpose of any general meeting is basically decision making, transparency, and accountability between the managers and the owners, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And Bhakti, this leads to my next question that why do we, why these meetings are important? Why do they matter?
As we discussed already, general meetings, it's a main communication channel between the management and the shareholders, because board of directors are the one who are regularly, they are into the operations of the company, but shareholders, they are not daily, into look into the operations of the company. That is the reason it is very important, because they are the owners of the company. They should know what is going on in the company, how the company is functioning. So
Hmm.
that is a general meeting. General meeting serves as a communication channel between the management and the shareholders. Now, few points, if we say, just to highlight the importance of the general meeting, it provides shareholders with the update of company's annual performance or strategies, operations, what the company is going forward to do, future plans. Those all things, by a means of a meeting, shareholders are also aware of it. The another important point is they allow shareholders to, approve major decisions like, appointment of auditor or directors, or the important is declaration of dividend. So there are few matters which are left for the board of directors. They can approve it, but there are few other important matters which has to be routed through shareholders. The board of directors normally recommend, and then it is approved by the shareholders.
Okay.
Another important, since now shareholders and the board of directors, they both are going to, have it in the same meeting. It allows the shareholders to raise any kind of concerns and promote a sort of transparency in the company. And ultimately, well conducted meetings also gives investors confidence, and it strengthens the trust between the shareholders and management.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a very great perspective also, because good governance is not just about compliance, right? It's also about having a proper connection.
Yes, because it's not only the, one section who is, governing the company. There are so many board of directors and you have so many roles, shareholders. So each one of them has their own roles and responsibilities.
Mhm. Okay. So now that we have spoken about why and what, my next question would be how. So, how does a company actually conduct a general meeting?
It's the same how we discussed for the board meeting. It starts with the notice of the meeting. A formal notice has to be sent to the shareholders and directors and whoever are going to attend the meeting. Typically, maybe 14 or 21 days in advance, so that
Okay.
they are aware of the notice, what agendas are going to be there. The notice should again include the same day, date, time, venue, the basic details, what has to be there for the shareholders or whoever is attending the meeting for them to understand. Then the full text of resolution. This is very important for shareholders. What resolutions or draft of the resolution, what they are going to approve, along with an explanatory statement. Explanatory statement is basically the contest or justification about the agendas, what they are going to approve it. Or in case if they want to disapprove, but it gives them a clear picture about what is going to be discussed in the meeting. One
Mm.
important point here is, which is not there normally in the board of meetings, is the proxy form. The proxy form also has to be a part of the agenda, which allows the shareholder to appoint someone else on their behalf to attend it.
Okay. Okay. So, this is like a new term for us, Bhakti, proxy forms, like you mentioned. Can you elaborate a little more on what a proxy is and like how it works?
Yeah, sure, Bhumika. A proxy basically is a person, it's a generic term. A person can be appointed by a shareholder to attend and vote on their behalf. So if a shareholder is not able to make it to the meeting, then they can still fill out and submit the proxy form before the meeting. It has to be intimated before the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
This ensures that their voting right are still exercised. It maintains the participation and representation in key decisions by the shareholder. So, for example, if you are a shareholder, you are not able to attend the meeting, and you can appoint as a proxy to me, and then we can your vote is still considered to be in the resolution.
Mm-hmm. I think something very similar to what used to happen in school and colleges, one professor making
Yes,
the other
the
professor, other professor's class. So basically filling in the proxy. Mm.
same. Proxy attendance, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was relatable for me. Okay. All right. Bhakti, once the meeting begins and the resolutions are presented, how do actually votes, I mean, how are votes actually cast? What are the standard methods that are used?
Yes, it's very different in the general meetings because it's a shareholders meeting, unlike the board of directors. Board of directors usually approve it through majority of the board of directors, approving or disapproving any resolution or agenda. But in
Mm-hmm.
general meeting, there are different types of voting that can be used. One is by show of hand. As the term suggests, each person has their own vote regardless of the shareholding. It's normally used for ordinary matters which does not require any detail count, or it's the usual matters. In show of hand, you just by the majority of in favor or disapproval of the show of hands, the resolution is approved. Now the
Mm-hmm.
second is voting by poll. This is a modernized way wherein nowadays this is used as a method to have the resolution voted. Each shareholder has their own weight based on the number of shares they own. Unlike in show of hands, show of hand, one vote, and one shareholder. But in voting by poll, it is how many number of shares you own. Based on that, you can vote. So it's one share, one vote principle. You have more number of shares, your voting right increases in that way.
Okay.
It actually provides more accurate reflection of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And the normal one more nowadays, since everything is virtual, earlier, the shareholders used to attend the meeting physically. Now everything is remote. So this is also something new based on the technologies. Now electronic and remote voting is also possible, wherein,
Okay.
companies allow shareholders to vote electronically and submit the proxies online. It's making their participation much easier rather than, who cannot attend the meeting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is the basic how the votes can be casted. And then again, the same once the voting is completed, the chairman will count and verify, and then the declaration takes place, whether in favor or any disapproval for any agendas. And then everything has to be recorded in the minutes of the meeting. The same, all the agendas, how many were in favor or anything which were not approved, everything has to be recorded in the minutes.
Okay, okay. I think I'm growing interest into this topic. Uh, no, actually, it's very interesting, very interesting. Also, very relatable to our routine lives. Also, like the proxy thing, and now this voting method. So it's very relatable also.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting.
Hmm. All right, Bhakti, I think that brings us to the end of today's discussion on general meetings, like the very foundation of transparency and accountability in corporate governance.
Yes, exactly, Bhumika. Whether it's a routine business or any strategic decisions, general meeting ensure that shareholders remain informed, engaged, and reinforcing trust and alignment between management and ownership.
True, true. And I think to sum it up, a well conducted general meeting isn't just, about fulfilling a legal requirement. It's about fostering dialogue, encouraging participation, and also building confidence in how a company is governed. So,
Yes,
yes, and I think when done right, it kind of strengthens the organization's integrity, credibility, and long term sustainability also.
yes, well said, Bhumika.
Yes, I'm learning from the expert. Thank you.
So it's like, it's so good to discuss on these topics.
Yes, yes, and I think like when we are talking, we are learning, and I'm sure the listeners are also kind of getting something out of these podcasts. I'm really hoping.
Yeah, let's hope for it.
Yes. All right, Bhakti, thank you so much for joining us and simplifying such an essential governance topic.
Thank you, Bhumika. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, likewise, Bhakti. All right, to our listeners, you have been listening to Minutes and Matters brought to you by 10 Leaves. If you found this episode insightful, don't forget to follow and share. Stay tuned for more conversations on governance, compliance, and all that matters in the world of business. Until next time, stay informed, stay compliant, and keep on learning.